Hi guys, this is Advanced Music Theory, lesson number 6. We're going to be talking about diatonic triads. And in order to do that, we're going to go to musictheory.net and we're going to click on the lesson that says diatonic triads. Now, you may be wondering why I skipped 7th chords inversions. The previous video covered the lesson in other 7th chords, but I'm skipping this because 7th chord inversions are really pretty similar to triad inversions. Inverting a 7th chord works the same way as a triad. You just take the bottom note and bring it up to the next octave, and you get kind of like a different ordering of the 7th chord. The main difference between the triad inversion and the 7th chord inversion is because a 7th chord has 4 notes, is going to have 3 inversions instead of 2 inversions, which the triad has. I encourage you to look through this lesson on your own if you want to kind of get a feel for it. But 7th chord inversions are really similar to triad inversions, so I don't want to spend time on it. I want to cover something totally different. So we're going to go to diatonic triads. So for every major and minor scale, we have 7 special triads, which are called diatonic triads. So basically, if we take every note of a scale and we stack a triad on top of every note of the scale using only the notes that are part of the major and minor scale, we're going to come up with different combinations of triads for each degree of the scale. And this is what's called diatonic triads. So let's take a look at what the process is to build them. So we're gonna first build a scale, right? In this case, we're showing here a C major scale. As you can see, it's all the natural notes, no accidental. So this is C major. And now what we're gonna do is for each one of these notes on the scale, and just remember the scale degrees. This is the first scale degree, second scale degree, third degree, fourth degree, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, which is really 1 because we're back to C. So now, if we take every single one of these notes and we stack 2 generic thirds on top, or we just make a triad only using the notes on the C major scale, we're going to come up with all of these triads with each note of C major as the root of the chord. So let's actually take a look at what these triads look like, because each one of these triads is gonna have a different quality. In other words, each one of these triads is gonna either be major, minor triad, and sometimes diminished, because of the notes of the scale are gonna actually make each triad have a different quality. So let's go step by step. The first triad in the first diatonic triad in the major scale, in C major specifically, is C, E, G, which is a major third and a perfect fifth. So this triad is a major triad, and this is the first degree of the scale. Let's take a listen. Play it again. All right. So the second triad, or the second degree of the scale, is going to be D natural, F natural, A natural. The first interval is a minor third, and the outer interval is a perfect fifth. So this is a minor triad. Let's take a listen. So the second degree triad in a major scale is going to be a minor triad. The third triad, or the third degree, is going to be E, G, B. It's first a minor third at the bottom and then a perfect fifth in the outer interval. So this one's also minor. So the third triad of the major scale is also a minor triad. The fourth triad is F, A, C. This is a major third at the bottom and a perfect fifth in the outer interval. So this one's also a major triad. The fifth triad is G, B, D. So there's a major third between G and B. and the perfect fifth between G and D. So this one's also a major triad. And let's now go to the sixth triad, or the sixth degree of the scales. It's going to be ACE. The first interval is a minor third, and the outer interval is a perfect fifth. So this one is a minor triad. Let's take a listen. And finally, the seventh triad, or the triad that comes out of the seventh degree of the scale, is going to be BDF. And now this one's going to be different. This one's going to be a minor third at the bottom, and the outer interval is actually a diminished fifth. So it's not going to be that perfect fifth, that seven half steps. This is going to be a diminished fifth, or 6 half steps. So let's take a listen. In order to make this triad a perfect triad, we would have had to make F sharp. But F sharp is not actually a note in C major, so we cannot use F sharp in the context of diatonic triads, because F sharp is out of the scale of C major. So finally, we come back full circle, and we have the eighth triad, which is really the same as the first triad, but an octave higher, is also CEG, so it's also major. So a pattern here to note: in a major scale, the diatonic triads, the first degree is always going to be major, second degree is going to be minor, third degree is going to be minor, fourth and fifth degrees are going to be major, sixth degree is going to be minor, the seventh degree is going to be diminished, and the eighth or first degree is going to be major as well. So let's now move on to C natural minor. Now, this is our C minor scale, and note that we have a key signature now. We have B flat, E flat, A flat, and if you remember, we have E flat as the second to last flat, which means that this key could either work for E flat major or the relative minor, which is a third below E flat, a minor third specifically, which is C minor. So this is C natural minor scale. All right, so now that we have the scale written, let's stack the triads on top. So 2 generic thirds on top of each one of the notes of the scale. And just like we had in the major scale, each triad in this sequence is actually going to have a different quality. So let's take a look at which qualities each one of these triads is going to have. And of course, it's going to be different than the major diatonic triads. The minor diatonic triads are going to have a different quality. So the first triad is C, E flat, G, a minor third first, and a perfect fifth outside. So this is a minor triad. And you might be guessing, and guessing correctly, that if you have a minor scale, that first degree, that first triad is going to be minor. Just like in the major scale, that first triad was major. So that's always a big clue. The first triad, which is also called the tonic is the first triad of any given key, or the first degree, is always going to match the key of the scale that it's built upon. So major scales, first triad or tonic triad is going to be major, and minor scale, the tonic is going to be minor. Right? So let's listen to that. So that's that minor triad. The second triad is D natural, F natural, A flat. It's a minor third at the bottom and a diminished fifth outside. So it's the diminished fifth because if you do the math, we have A flat up top. The distance between D and A flat is actually 6 semitones, or 6 half steps. So it is diminished. And that's going to sound like this. And yeah, once again, that's the reason, is because in the natural minor, we have that flat 6th degree of the scale, which is that A flat. The third triad is an E flat, G natural, B flat. It's a major third at the bottom and a perfect fifth outside. So this is a major triad. The fourth triad is F natural, A flat, C. The first interval is a minor third, and the outside interval is a perfect fifth. So this is a minor triad. And moving on to the fifth triad, this is G natural, B flat, D natural. The first interval is a minor third, and the outer interval is a perfect fifth. So this is a minor triad. Let's listen. And remember, we're working with natural minor here. This is not harmonic. If we had a harmonic minor, and we were building the diatonic triads based on harmonic minor, the B would be B natural. It wouldn't be B flat. So just remember that. And the sixth triad is A flat, C, E flat. The first third is a major third, and the outer interval is perfect fifth. So this one's a major triad. And then the seventh triad is B flat, D, F. That's a major third at the bottom and the perfect fifth outside. So this is also a major triad. All right. If this was harmonic minor and this B flat was B natural instead, this actually would have been a diminished fifth. So that would have made this a diminished triad, but because we're working in natural, this is a major triad. And finally, the eighth triad is the same as the first triad. It's another tonic, which is the first degree of the scale. And the eighth triad is, once again, C, E flat, G. And it sounds exactly the same as the first one, just 1 octave higher. Let's listen. Okay, so now we could continue to discuss the diatonic triads for harmonic minor and melodic minor, but really the concept is exactly the same. I'm not going to go through them now because I don't want this video to get too long. I would encourage you to actually go through this lesson in its entirety when you're by yourself reviewing this. But just know that all we're doing here with these triads, we're just stacking thirds on top of the root of each chord. And we're only using tones that exist in the scale we're working within. So if we were looking at harmonic minor, we'd basically be switching all the B flats for B natural because the 7th degree in a harmonic minor is raised by a half step. And also, if we were looking at the melodic minor, we'd have to do one more adjustment. We'd have to take all those 6 degrees of the scales, all those A flats, and make them natural. Okay? Of course, every time you make an alteration, every time you change a note in a triad, you're going to change its quality. You're going to change whether it's major, minor, diminished, or augmented. So, but the main concept here is that each one of these triads is built on one note or one scale degree. And following the diatonic triads, we can make chords based on every scale degree on any scale that we can think of. All right, this is it for now. In the next video, we're going to talk about how different diatonic triads are labeled based on the scale degrees that they fall upon. All right, see you guys later.